Hello everyone, you're listening to WPCX in Clinton, South Carolina on the campus of Presbyterian College. You could also, we're on 97.1 FM, but you could also listen to us on the WPCX app on iOS and Android. Welcome to Current Climate. I'm joined here with McHenry.
Third straight week, bruh.
Yeah, and he's on time this time.
I'm on time this
Actually,
time,
he was
yeah.
early.
Trying to step up my game.
Yeah, dude. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. To all the veterans that are listening, I know at least one is. My dad is. He's an MP in the Army. Thank you, Dad. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably I was gonna say I'd be a lot meaner on the show, but I probably wouldn't even have a show. No, seriously, I was like he was very. He was a big proponent in getting me motivated to be in school and everything else, man. Because, like, especially in middle school, it was rough. I don't know what it was, man, but he pulled me through. And
hey, bro, now you're in the big time, bro.
Dude.
WPCX.
Yeah, dude. So we'll have an interesting show. We're gonna talk about the government shutdown, which is going to end on Friday. That'll be pretty cool.
So
That'll be great.
It is going to end.
It is
for sure.
It is definitely going to end. Yes.
Okay.
The Senate voted, and there were eight Democratic senators that decided that that enough was enough, and they voted with the Republicans on continuing the functions of government and funding the government. But also there were a few other things. We'll get into it, but first. Let's read our disclaimer so I don't get fired. This program is produced by students at Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina. Views and opinions expressed on this station are those of student producers and do not necessarily reflect official views of the college. Thank you for listening. All right. Now that we know we won't get fired, well, I should say I'll get fired because McHenry doesn't work here technically. Let's get into it.
So, all right, just to clarify, so everybody wants Chuck Schumer to resign. When I say everybody, a lot of Democrats want him to resign, right?
From my understanding, yeah, there's a lot of anger with it because Democrats were really trying to fight Republicans on this because there was an amendment that they wanted to the bill that would increase healthcare funding.
It was something to do with healthcare, wasn't it?
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah. It was definitely to do with healthcare. And so eight. It was eight. 8 Democrats detracted from the other Democrats and they voted Republican. And I'm glad the government's going to be up and running again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean SNAP should be back. Pretty much everything should be returning to normal. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. Besides the news headlines, and looking into everything, it's funny you don't really notice when the government shuts down.
Well, okay, so yeah, I guess like for people like us, not really, but I have this weird thing. I like to follow what's going on with like air travel. I don't know why. And
traffic.
Oh my goodness gracious! There has been so many flight delays, so many flights canceled, like hundreds of flights canceled around the country, and it got so bad to the point that American Airlines actually had to cut a lot of funding at their headquarters in Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so air travel was really affected by the government shutdown. And a lot of employees involved with like TSA or air traffic control, all of them, a lot of those people weren't able to work.
Oh yeah.
And so it resulted in hundreds of flights getting canceled, which was kind of crazy.
Which is rough considering how close we are to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and so what else really got affected? I mean, what else gets affected? There's a lot that gets affected. I know.
National park visitor centers, I know they get affected. Trump actually, he found a way to fund, I think it was the military, it could have been, well, either way it's the military, the National Guard, whatever, it's the military. He found a way to fund that. I think a private donor actually gave them the funds to keep going, as opposed to having unpaid work. But now that the government stopped shutting down, or will stop shutting down on Friday, there's going to be a lot of money, a lot of back pay in particular, that we're going to have to answer for. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people have to get their job. Oh, that's another provision, too, with the continuance of the government. I believe it was a Supreme Court decision. Yeah, there was a provision put in place that Trump has to rehire all of the people that he laid off during the government shutdown.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting.
So that government shutdown went down for, it was what,
40 days, yeah.
40 days.
Oh, I think 41 now. Can't remember. I looked at it yesterday.
Why is it, I'm just curious, like, why is it Friday? Why not just, like, tomorrow?
It has to go to the House.
The House?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the House, there's a majority Republican in the House, so it'll just
Very
go
fun.
through.
Yeah, it'll be fine, right? Yeah. Well, glad it's gonna be over, man. Glad it's gonna be over. I don't want people to be out of work.
Yeah, don't want that. But in sort of related news, but not related, the tariff situation.
Yeah, what's new on that front?
So, Trump announced, well, he announced like a lot of things economics-wise recently. One of the things related to tariffs, he's going to give people a $2,000 tariff dividend.
Yeah, I heard. What is that exactly? What is a tariff dividend?
He calls it a dividend, because it's supposed to be like, here, I made all of this money from the tariffs, and I'm giving it back to the people. But the concerns are, because he's giving it to everyone that isn't high income. So the concerns are that the money we made from tariffs are not going to be able to actually fund the tariff dividends. So it's sort of like, a lot of people are saying that Trump's kind of promising money that we don't have.
And I thought, from what it sounded like, I mean, we have a huge problem with debt, and I feel like weren't the main goal of those tariffs to try and pay off as much of that debt as we can? Is that right?
Sort of. So Trump was really using tariffs as like a more of a. He was using them more strategically. It wasn't really an economic policy so much as it was a foreign policy. He was using tariffs to kind of punitively. He was trying to punish other countries that were kind of that was believed to rip us off. So he would that trade war with China.
Yeah.
And he was adding all of these tariffs to all these different countries. Right in the beginning, because he believed that they were ripping us off pretty much. And also he was using it as a punishment for border crossings. Other countries lax immigration policies, or lack of border security, I guess is more accurate, because they're not. He's punishing people for allowing people to cross their border onto the U.S.
Yeah.
So like for some reason Canada. I don't know why he picked Canada.
The Canada is. Yeah, that continues
Mexico makes a lot more sense to me, but Canada doesn't.
Yes, I completely agree. I really that's one thing I really don't understand why he just has decided to pick on Canada, and why he had to completely destroy their election last spring, just not on purpose, but he ended up basically messing up their whole election, causing the liberal guy to win instead of the conservative guy, when the conservative guy was basically in lock before the whole tariffs and everything. But that's just part of the process. Part of the process, I guess, right? I mean, Trump's a smart guy. I don't know what he's thinking with that, though. I really don't. I can't explain it.
This administration's feeling really, really weird to me. Really off.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why, because there are two other things Trump announced
Oh yeah.
That's to do with economics. Yes. He decided to create the 50-year mortgage and the 15-year car loan.
Yeah, explain that to me because I saw that and I didn't really look into it. So what is that?
In an effort to make like housing more affordable, he extended mortgages to 50 years so that the logic is that the monthly payments would be cheaper.
Okay.
But I mean, 50 years at that point you're just renting, except without a landlord. So hold on. Sorry, I'm just not following. So
what he's trying to do? What exactly? Like, what is the goal? What is the aim?
To lower housing costs.
Okay, and so what does the 15 years have to do with the car loan? I don't understand.
15-year car loans. Oh, he's trying to do that with cars as well, pretty much.
Like to offer you can loan a car for, what is it?
No, you can take a loan, like a loan to pay for a vehicle.
You can take
years.
a loan to pay for a vehicle.
Or finance it. You can finance
for
a vehicle.
15 years.
Yeah, for 15 years.
So you can be paying it back for 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's doing what? You said, what was the other thing? A 50-year what?
50-year mortgage.
50-year mortgage. Yeah. So it's basically the same thing as a car, but for a house.
Yeah, 50 years.
And a mortgage essentially is just paying. It's basically just financing a home. Is that right?
Much, yeah.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, yeah. So, what are your thoughts? You are the business major.
Well, I mean, I don't know what I think about it because I mean, if it could be great, you want to get more people in affordable homes and not have people paying more than they should for a house or a car, and getting people more options to finance them. I don't know how it'll play out with auto companies or like car companies or real estate brokers. I don't know how they're gonna implement that in their sales. I guess that's how he's gonna do it, right? He's gonna make a law that you can do this, or what? Or how is this gonna go down? Is it a federal law that like car sales, car dealerships or real estate brokers or whatever have to make options so you can finance things for 15 or 50 years? Is that how it's gonna work?
It's pretty much. It's going to be like a.
Not a government. It's not the government funding, is it?
Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like anything like student loans, for example.
No,
like,
it's not going to be
where
like
you
that.
get the money from the government to finance. It's not like that.
No.
It's where you just. Is it basically just going to allow? It's going to ensure that there's an option for people to finance their.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So the main concern.
What's the concern with it? Yeah. What's the?
So. The main concern, especially with the car thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about mortgages. I'm not like a real estate guy, but
yeah,
I can tell you with the car loans, there's about a 50% delinquency when it comes to paying off car loans. When it comes to financing a vehicle, which means people do not pay.
Yeah.
And that's 51.4%, I believe, is the correct figure. So it's a lot of people that just don't pay straight up. So what's going to happen is...
So you think there's just going to lead to a lot of debt, a lot of evictions, and a whole big mess of just...
I think it's going to be very messy.
Yeah.
With mortgages, I don't know. I think it's a very temporary fix.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not really solving the underlying issue.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great right now. But, in a couple of years, the houses... When people are like, oh wow, all these people are buying houses, now we can raise the prices, and so it just kind of like eventually will lead into it's more like kicking the can down the road. Oh yeah.
It's a quick interruption. I don't think my mic is actually on.
No, it is. So camera, radio.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Let me move closer to this. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're chilling.
But you were saying that there's a big...
I feel like it's kicking the can down the road when it comes to the 50-year mortgage thing.
And also, 50 years is half a century. It's just too long to...
Yeah. At that one, like literally at that point, you're renting it.
You're kind of fleecing the the real estate industry with that. I think, right? I mean, if you're not getting your money, but by the time 50 years goes by, my guess is you're financing it on a consistent rate where you pay the same amount every month or every year or whatever. And 50 years down the road, inflation will have gone up so much and everything, and the value will not be the same. Say you're financing like a $3 million home.
Yeah.
$3 million right now is going to be a lot different than $3 million in 50 years.
Yeah, that's true.
$3 million in 50 years could be, I could do the math with the inflation, with the formula to calculate, the expected rate of inflation and everything, but like that is really, it's consumer friendly is what it is. It's going to help people that want to buy homes, but it's going to really fleece the it seems like it's not a great deal for the for if you're wanting to sell homes, or if you're in the real estate business. It's not a great deal for them, but yeah, I mean, if it's a good deal for the consumer, we'll see how it plays out, if it actually happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Well, I was going to talk about it, but you weren't able to make it yesterday. As you know, we had that event.
Oh, wait, is it we didn't have a show yesterday, did you?
No.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the event.
Yeah, the event with Pamela Yvette, Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
South
I wish
Carolina.
I could have made it. I was subbing it up.
Yeah.
I was working in Jersey Mike's.
So, yeah, she was there. She was at the Lawrence County Museum, actually, and she spoke for a while. It was a campaign event. So, I was gonna ask, what are your thoughts on her, but I don't know.
On Pamela Yvette?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure
fill me in. I don't know anything. So I'm.
All right, so she's a business. Well, she's a small business owner. And
where is she? South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Nah, she out of state, bro.
yeah. They imported her.
Yeah.
McMaster imported her actually from like Wyoming or something.
Yeah.
No, but she's a small business owner. She actually, this is the story that she tells us at the campaign event. I'm not sure how true it is. I'm assuming it's true though. She gets approached by Henry McMaster in, I want to say like 2016, around that time.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. She didn't give any time frame specifically, but all I know is that it was around Trump's first term.
Trump's what?
It was around Trump's first term or him running.
Oh, okay.
So she gets approached by Henry McMaster, and McMaster asks her to be the running mate, to be lieutenant governor, and she accepts, and she's been lieutenant governor ever since.
So her term is about to expire, I guess, or is there a term?
Well,
Can you be a governor for 3 terms in South Carolina?
I believe it's 3 terms.
Because a lot of states have a limit on 2 terms, and then a lot of states have, they don't have limits, or they have a limit of 3, or it varies by state. I don't know what it is in South Carolina though.
The governor is term limited here.
Is it 3?
I
It's
believe
more
it's
than
3.
2.
Yeah.
It's more than 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So she has been the lieutenant governor under Henry McMaster since 2016.
Yeah.
Okay.
Around that time. Yeah.
I gotcha.
So her pitch is like, the heartbeat bill was passed. She did a lot with the WIN scholarships. Her main platform, I think, is just everything that happened under the they call it the General Assembly, but it's basically what the General Assembly is. When people talk about the General Assembly, they're talking about the State House of Representatives. They're not talking about Congress. So it's not on the federal level, it's on the state level.
The General Assembly.
Yeah, that's what they say, the General Assembly. So it's mostly what the General Assembly has been doing. It's what she's been campaigning with.
Yeah.
And she's leading in the polls. I think think she's got like 15 to 20%.
She's just running for governor, right?
Yeah, governor. Yeah.
What's her? I'm gonna look her up. What's her name?
Pamela Yvette.
Pamela Yvette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evette. And so, I attended. I listened to her speak, and she talks a lot about smaller government and less regulation. She's very much into the whole the economic side.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Isn't Nikki Haley's sister? 'Cause it looks really similar.
She does. Honestly, I saw her at the state convention because I was a delegate. I saw her and I actually thought she was Nikki Haley for a second. I had to do a double take.
Yeah.
She does look pretty similar. It's a little.
It is a little.
It's a little scary.
It does.
But
No,
yeah.
so she's big business, right?
Yeah.
Big business. Big. She was pro minimal regulations on business.
Pretty much, yeah. Now I appreciate the fact that she's pro nuclear energy. I do like that.
You don't like those coal and the oil?
She's talking about building, I think, 6 plants. She's talking about building 6 nuclear plants, which is pretty cool.
What do you think of her?
I think she's all right. I prefer Ralph Norman.
Ralph
I think
Norman.
I trust. Yeah, I think just because it's a name, I'm more familiar with him, and I'm more familiar with Stuart Jones.
Yeah.
And Stuart Jones, he endorsed Ralph Norman.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Stuart Jones was a state representative. He's a former state representative, and when I was 15, I shadowed him, and we went door to door and stuff. It was pretty cool. But anyway, so I'm more familiar with Ralph Norman, and he has a voting record. That's the thing. He has a voting record that you can look at and say, okay, he voted pretty conservatively, or he did this or he did that. With Pamela Yvette, she's a lieutenant governor, and so what a lieutenant governor does, like the official duties of lieutenant governor, are very, very small. You're basically just a tiebreaker vote when it comes to the General Assembly, and I mean that's pretty much where your ceremonial position. You don't do a lot officially. I'm not saying she didn't do a lot. Don't mince words. Okay, I'm not saying she didn't do a lot. It's just that the official position of lieutenant governor doesn't do much. Everything she did do was more like initiatives that
Just
she,
like the vice president. No, I'm just kidding.
pretty much. Honestly, pretty much, dude. Like,
it's always it's they're the sidekick, bro.
Yeah,
they're Robin. Batman and Robin.
Pretty much. Like, so, and that's not to discount her efforts, because she did do things. It's just that I don't think I think Ralph Norman's just better equipped.
Better equipped.
Yeah. Because he has the voting record, and he's been through the process and procedures.
Yeah.
And he's in the General Assembly. Or, I'm sorry, not General Assembly. He's in the House of Representatives. So.
Have you been to most of the candidates' events and whatnot?
I've been to all of them at the Lawrence County Republican Party.
Yes, yeah.
Set up. Yeah.
So because I remember you went to who is the guy Alan Wilson?
Alan Wilson. Yeah.
Is he still in it?
He's still in it, but actually he's second place.
He is. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alan Wilson, Pamela Yvette.
Yeah.
Ralph
Norman.
Yeah. And in your are you leaning towards Ralph Norman?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't really followed the South Carolina governor race because I'm from Georgia, so
that checks out.
but I haven't really followed the Georgia race either. But I actually, oddly enough, have followed I'm a little bit trying to follow the Minnesota governor race.
Oh, Minnesota.
Because that every year it gets closer. Every year it gets closer. It's for the general election and the governor election. It gets closer every year, and once sometime soon it's gonna flip, and a Republican's gonna get elected. It's gone blue every presidential election since, I believe, 1972.
Which presidential election was that? I can't remember.
It was Nixon.
Nixon.
I believe it was
okay.
either Nixon. Basically, point is, sometime in the 70s, 72 or 76, it's gone blue every single time since then. They've only had one Republican governor in the past, 20-something years.
That's interesting.
So, but it's close every time. It's close, and so it's really interesting kind of dynamic there, because if you look at a map, the whole state is just covered in red, and then you got the Minneapolis and St. Paul Twin Cities blue area, and then some, like, really in the northeastern part of the state, I think there's like Indian reservations and stuff over there, so it's also blue. But it's really interesting because so much of the state is so red. And there's a tiny part of it that is blue, and it's always close. The margin's always close, so I'm trying to follow that race. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's locked in, bro.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I haven't looked. I need to look at the places where I actually spend time in, like Georgia or South Carolina. I don't think Brian Kemp is going to be able to run again. I don't think you can do 3 terms in Georgia. I don't think you can do 3 terms in Minnesota, so Tim Walz probably won't run again. Thank gosh. So I don't know. I don't know the rules in South Carolina, though. I know Republicans are going to win, but I don't. I don't know the rules.
Well, that's the thing. That's the crazy thing about South Carolina.
There's a lot of rhinos in South Carolina, right?
Yeah, on paper, red state all the way.
Yeah.
But the thing with South Carolina is that there's a lot of people that run with an R next to their name that aren't really Republicans, but there's also Republicans that feel like the only way they can win is if they get Democrat voters, because we have open primaries, which means that Democrats can vote in a Republican primary and Republicans can vote in a Democrat primary if they want to. So what a lot of more moderate Republicans will do is that they'll kind of make a campaign that will win them the primary and will hopefully win them the primary at least, where they lean a lot more on Democratic support as opposed to their own party support, because they don't feel like they could win. That's what most moderates do anyway. So although it's red, like on paper, it's a lot more complicated than that.
I learned the word rhino from you, by the way. What does this stand for again?
Republican in name only.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably the case in other red states too, I would think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. In a lot of red states, that is what it's like.
In a state that you know that you basically can't win unless you're a Republican.
Yeah. I feel like battleground states is where you're going to get mostly conservative Republicans.
Yeah.
In red states, it's pretty much in South Carolina, Republican doesn't really mean much.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you're in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania or Ohio, it's a little. Those are kind of swing states. So
yeah.
I don't really know. Or Minnesota. Now Minnesota's kind of a swing state.
So yeah. There's another thing. Okay. Before we say anything else, station ID again.
Station ID.
Do you want to do it this time?
Yeah, I'd love to. Any of the 3?
Yeah, any of the 3.
You're listening to a student radio 97.1 FM WPCX, Clinton, South Carolina. That's it?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Sorry, that felt a little short. I felt like I was leaving.
Yeah, no,
I was on a
yapped,
cliffhanger or something.
No, I yapped, dude. Don't even worry about it. Because I normally keep promoting the app because I want people to talk in the chat. Oh, another thing. If you guys are on the app and you don't know how to chat, press the go button. It's bottom center, and then hit the little speech bubble, okay? And then when you go to type, it might ask you to make an account if it hasn't already. And then, you know, just make an account if you feel comfortable with it. And oh, sorry, I was making sure that that wasn't my dad telling me that we have dead air again. That would have been rough.
That would have been rough.
That would have been really rough. But yeah. If you feel comfortable with making an account, please make an account, and then, you know, say something in the chat. Let me know you're listening. Ask questions, or, you know, tell me what you're interested in in terms of politics. Tell me what I should look into.
They do call-ins here or no?
They can't do call-ins. I asked.
Okay.
On my first show, actually, I threatened to mess with it myself if nobody figured it out.
Yeah.
But I talked to Mr. Wallace over there in the media. He's in the media department. He's down here in the basement with us.
The clubhouse. The clubhouse.
Yeah, the clubhouse.
That sounds a little better, right?
Yeah, the clubhouse sounds much better. So I talked to him, and he told me that we used to have a call-in station, but we don't have one anymore because apparently people were saying very inflammatory things on the phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It got a little hostile, huh?
Yeah, I got a little spicy, so.
A little spicy. Come on, guys. Gotta have some class on here, okay?
Yeah. So no call-in, sadly. I really wanted to do it too, but yeah.
I want somebody to disagree with us. Come on, say something in the
say
chat,
something
bro.
in chat,
I don't care.
please.
Disagree. I wanna.
Yeah.
I wanna hear.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I don't think anybody's gonna say anything though. See, at least this time I checked chat. At least this time I gave you guys a chance. Last time I barely checked it because I'm not used to like checking my laptop for it, and I feel like it's rude to like kind of open up my phone because you know it's like I'm having a conversation with you guys. Even though you're not in the room, I'm having a conversation with you guys. So like when I pull up my phone, I feel like I'm being rude when I do it. So it's hard for me to like check the laptop or like check my phone, but
Yeah. Well, go to the chat if you can make an account on there, which I couldn't do for some reason. So
yeah. Oh, you know they updated the app too recently. So if you install that new update, maybe it'll fix it.
Yeah.
We'll see. But so another thing happened.
What happened, bro? What happened, bro?
Another thing happened in the Middle East.
What? Nothing happens over there.
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude?
Middle East, bro?
There's peace in the Middle East. That's the
Yeah,
slogan.
bro.
Like,
There's peace, bro.
No,
Come on
but
now, bro. People been working on it for years. It's got to be good by now. Come on.
But you guys are gonna think I'm going insane or something. Like I just keep repeating the same thing. That is the definition of insanity. But once again, Israel has broken the ceasefire. On November 10th, yesterday, 2 people were killed in a drone strike. Civilians, one was a child. And the IDF claimed that they were a threat. Now, I don't really know how they could be conceived as a threat.
Who were the people?
Just they were Palestinian civilians. They were just civilians.
I want to see what happened. I want to see.
It was it was pretty much the IDF said that they crossed the yellow line. So
Okay.
during the ceasefire agreement, there's like a yellow line, and it's not supposed to be Israel's territory. It's sort of like it's supposed to be a temporary withdrawal area, but they've been so like both sides are supposed to kind of like disengage in that area or whatever. The IDF is supposed to be there, I guess, to like oversee the disengagement, but it's not supposed to be a war. Needless to say, it's not supposed to be like a war zone. It's supposed to be sort of like a demilitarized zone.
I got a message 2 minutes ago. It says check the chat.
Check the chat. Okay.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Did my laptop die? I'm really gonna plug it in.
Sorry to interrupt your
No problem.
description of that. I want to see here because I'm
Oh, No, I'm stupid. Why did I reach for my laptop? I have it right open, bro. I have it wide open. Why did I reach for my laptop?
You need your charger. That's
yeah,
what
I need my charger, man.
So,
you might have to check chat for me. Or wait, hold on.
I don't.
Oh, you can't open chat either? That's rough.
That's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
Okay. So,
Check the chat.
I want to see. I'm just curious, just for myself. Like, those states
Okay.
up in New England are pretty small, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So-
They're tiny.
I just looked here. It says the state of Massachusetts is bigger than Israel.
The state of Massachusetts is bigger than Israel.
So,
I think that's, yeah.
well, I looked on Google and it says it is like,
Yeah.
so Massachusetts is this tiny state up in New England, and it's bigger than the whole country of Israel.
Yeah.
And
I think
Israel is in the Middle East. Basically, okay, maybe this is exaggerated, but it feels like every country that borders them wants them off the face of the earth in some way or another.
I mean, yeah. Hold on, I'm sorry. I accidentally opened the app and now I'm like hearing it and I'm hearing feedback. Let me just close that. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have everything settled, by the way? Do we have the chat or everything?
Laptop's still dead, but I did read the chat. Someone said they disagree, but I don't know what about. I don't know what they disagree with. They just
I
said
think I just
disagree.
told them to disagree.
Oh.
I said so I need someone to disagree. So somebody needs to disagree.
I disagree with your disagreement.
So do you have the chat open?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not it's not updating on the laptop as fast as it's updating on the phone, unfortunately.
Okay. So someone just said I disagree.
Yeah. So where was I? We were talking about you were talking about how Israel's neighbors
Yes.
do not like Israel. Yeah, I don't think that's completely inaccurate. We literally, I don't know if you know this, but so we do have foreign aid that goes to Israel, but we also have foreign aid that goes to Egypt and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And we use that money, we give them that money basically to normalize relations with Israel, because otherwise Egypt will not like Israel, Jordan will not like Israel.
Okay.
So, yeah, Israel's not very well liked in the Middle East. That is true for sure.
Yeah.
But it's.
Someone said I disagree about disagreeing. Wait, hold on.
I disagree
Wait,
with your disagreement about disagreeing.
I said I disagree about disagreeing. Huh.
Interesting.
Anyway.
well.
I could be misreading that, but yeah. So we're giving money to Egypt and Jordan too?
Yes. To normalize relations.
Gotcha. And they're not like, okay, I guess Iran and Iraq and I guess like those Afghanistan, those are probably the countries that come to mind when I think of people not liking Israel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's. Yeah. There's a lot of. There's like. Pretty much since its. Well, even before its founding, in 1948, there's been a lot of conflict because. So a lot of Jewish people, they actually fled to what was then the British Mandate of Palestine. That's what it was called at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of Jewish people fled there, actually, like, for, a plethora of different reasons. I shouldn't say, not a plethora of different reasons, but a plethora of different, like, methods, I suppose. Some were pushed out by Adolf Hitler, actually. Before the camps and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, listen, go over there. You guys wanted that place. Go over there. And a lot actually did end up going over there. Not all of them will. I mean, we all know that, but a lot of them did go over there, and they came as refugees at first.
When you say over there, are you talking about Israel?
Yeah. Well, yeah. At the time, it was
because it was
British.
after the war, right?
Yeah.
Because it was made after the war.
Yeah.
After the Second World War was over.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know, like, just like maybe you know, like, how did who was it a group of countries that collectively made Israel, or like how was Israel made?
Okay, so it started with the Ballflower Declaration. I'm so terrible with pronouncing that, but basically it was a document. Okay, let's go before that actually. So there was a group of people. There was like a Zionist organization, and they really, really wanted Palestine. They wanted that to be Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and at the time it was controlled by the Ottoman Empire, and so the Zionist organization had ties to the UK as well as America, and so the Zionist organization said, hey, they were talking to the UK Prime Minister. They're like, hey, listen, we'll try our hardest to get the U.S. involved in World War I because we know you guys are losing, but all we want in return is for you to say that this plot of land belongs, like this is going to be a Jewish state. And so the Prime Minister agreed, and that's how you got the Ballflower Declaration, which basically says that though that land belongs to Jewish people.
So that was before the First World War.
Yeah, well, that was around the time of the First World War, yeah.
So like 1915, 1916. Because I know the U.S.
I believe it was 1916.
Yeah, because I know the U.S. got involved in, what, 1917? Something like that?
Yeah, and you know, there's no there's no concrete proof as to whether like this was like a successful, like, oh, this is what encouraged the U.S. to go to war, because of course we had the Zimmerman telegram, which was a telegram that stated that I shouldn't say stated, it was a proposition for Mexico. They're like, hey, if you help us with this war, you know, we'll let you keep part of America.
Okay. I got you. So Israel it basically served as a safe haven for Jewish people after the Second World War with the Holocaust and the Nazis and everything like that. Is that basically right?
It's pretty much that's where everybody started settling. Not all of them left. Like some of them stayed. Like
but they could go there.
They could go there. It was a backstop, pretty much.
EST 1948.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, the thing with that is, like, okay, now we have these people that have been living here that accepted these refugees, and now they're like, okay, well, actually, this is our land. And so this is where the conflict kind of begins, because they were on good terms at first, because their understanding was, okay, these guys are our refugees, and they're escaping this awful thing. Let's bring them in, and let's take care of them. And then once enough Jewish people came to this land, it was sort of like, it's like, oh, well, this is our land. The British said it's our land. This is our land. And so, and there comes the conflict. Now they're like, whoa, wait a minute. What happened? No, this is our land. And so pretty much immediately after the establishment of Israel, there was a war.
With the British?
Oh, no, not with the British. With it was Israel, and it was Egypt, I believe, was the main proponent of it.
Oh, so it's other Middle East countries trying to get on in the action.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trying to get in on the action.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is illegitimate. Fast forward a little bit, right? Yeah, I know this is a very brief history. I'm not trying to, like...
all I wanted was brief. I'm just...
Yeah, very, very brief.
It helps me understand the current...
So we fast forward a little bit, and we have the Cold War, okay? At this point, James Jesus Angleton. He was like he was one of the forefathers of the CIA. Okay, we've been trading information with Israel since, well, for a long time. I'll just put it that way. So we've been trading information with them, and naturally, the Soviet Union doesn't like that. So the Soviet Union's like, okay, Israel's a bulwark of the American capitalists. They need to be stopped. They're an illegitimate state, and so they fund all of these different Middle Eastern countries. And just before then, Israel went on a war against all of the surrounding area, and they actually, at that time, before the Soviet Union stepped in, Israel was at its biggest, like as a nation. It was pretty big.
Yeah.
They expanded quite a bit, and then the Soviet Union knocked them down by a lot. And like, hey, this is an illegitimate state. You don't even need to exist. And this is sort of, and this actually began like a mass exodus from the left wing to the right wing, because a lot of people that were Zionists, but also maybe they were also communists, and they were sort of sympathetic to Stalin and things like that. They veered to the right, and they're like, whoa, don't mess with Israel, because Israel is like the backstop, right? That's their safe haven in case something goes down in the country, right? Mm-hmm. That's why it was established. And so there was a mass exodus, and this sort of actually creates the neoconservative movement, because they're getting a lot of there were these, well, self-described, I think I can say liberal. I don't think it's derogatory in this circumstance. They were liberal, and they were very, well, they weren't anti-war, but they were, that's my fault. They were very much, they did not, they wanted to spread America, you know what I mean, like as an idea.
Yeah.
And so, when, and they were, a lot of them were communists and things like that, like Trotskyites and things. They just weren't Stalinists. And so they veered to the right, and they're like, whoa. I believe it was Milton Friedman who said this. He said, I was a liberal until I was mugged by reality.
Yeah.
That was what he said, but for him, that meant, he was mugged by the reality that, like, a lot of these people on the left were not supportive of Israel. They did not support Israel at all. They did not believe it had a right to exist,
mm-hmm, yeah.
things like that. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of what fuels, like, that's what fuels, like, the early neoconservative movement, because they're like, okay, we need to fight the communists to save Israel in the Middle East and everything
mm-hmm,
else.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's sort of...
But how much of that is wanting to, like, for example, like the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Like, that's a war basically against communism, right?
Sure, yeah.
Because North Vietnam and South Vietnam became one, and that was because of us, not...
Because the...
yeah.
Yeah.
But, so, like, the war against communism... Are you saying that it's sort of just like a war, like that's a war also protecting Israel?
No, not like in all cases. I'm not talking.
No, I'm not
about,
talking
like,
about that.
thing.
I'm
just saying, like, in.
Just trying to get
about, like,
what
the
you're
middle.
saying.
When we're talking, like, mostly it was against communism.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, the former liberals that switched to the conservative side,
yeah,
they were in it more for the, the defense of Israel, is what I'm trying to say. So they weren't as... The main concern, like, the main conflict was communism versus capitalism, but their motivations, like, they started to become more aligned with the conservative movement because of their motivations.
So just, like, they're getting more aligned with basically the ones that are supporting... If you're Israel back then, it's like the ones that are supporting you are the ones against communism and the ones fighting against communism.
Yeah.
So, be on the same team.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. You said it a lot more sophisticated than I did.
No, hey, man.
Hey, bro, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the history, bro.
Yeah, so like I tend to talk a lot. So sometimes you know you need that you need a good summarization that isn't so wordy, because I tend to use words in a very weird way.
I need to probably expand my vocabulary, honestly, but what exactly, just really quickly, what happened on, was it October 7th, 2022?
23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
What happened that day? Because from what I understand is Israel essentially got invaded by a Palestinian terrorist group. Is that
Hamas? Yeah, no, that's completely
that accurate? Okay,
yeah, no, that's accurate.
Yeah. And from what I heard, I mean, it was very brutal. People getting captured, people just unspeakable things happened. So that's what I heard.
Oh no, yeah, there were bad things that happened.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that is, I'm not a conspiratorial type, so I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to take the leap and say that the Israeli government definitely knew it was going to happen. I'm not going to go there, because that's that would be completely unsubstantiated. But I will say that I don't know if you knew this, but a government official, he was trying to take investigation. He was trying to do investigations into the security. What were the security measures put in place? How was the military response when it came to that Hamas attack? And he actually ended up getting fired for it. So I don't think you can't do a bunch of speculation. You can't go crazy, but you do have to wonder why would he get fired over that? Some of those officials have done a lot worse. I don't know if you knew this, but another Israeli government official recently, they kind of hid it under a rug, but recently he was caught in an FBI sting operation where he was trying to meet up with a minor, and he fled to Israel, and he didn't face any punishment. He still hasn't faced any punishment. He's not even coming to trial, and we haven't done anything about it. And he's still in government too. So it's not that he's just stingy on firing people, or the opposite of stingy. It's not like he's firing people willy-nilly. He's very selective about it. But I don't know. I just thought that was something worth bringing up that I thought was weird, but I don't have any I don't have any hard proof. I don't, if someone has more. And
so are you saying that you are skeptical of how much the Israeli government knew that the if they knew or not that you're wondering if the government knew that attack was going to happen, if it really hit them by surprise or not, or if it was.
But I'm not gonna poke at it too much, because ultimately it was a bad thing that happened. I'm not gonna
So I mean, if that happens in your country, I mean, you're gonna retaliate. Israel has had every right to retaliate. I mean, it's like.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
To act in self-defense, sure, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Gaza, but it's like a parking lot, man. And they, they completely destroyed the place. And
why exactly after, and maybe more about this probably. I'm just wondering why, what caused so many. What brought of the pro-Palestinian movement to the United States? Why did people get involved with the pro-Palestinian movement in the United States after October 7th, 2023? After a horrible terrorist attack on Israel, why do people, why are people celebrating? Why do people begin to celebrate that right here in America and do all this vandalism? And it just seems like at the time it seemed like people were celebrating a terrorist attack.
Yeah. Well.
And
so
I just want to hear what your thoughts are on that, because I've never understood that. It's sick to me the way people.
Yeah. So I think
people glorify.
I think there's three kinds of people that are pro-Palestine. I would classify them as three different people. So there's There's one, and they are extreme. They're extremists, and they're, maybe they are jihadists or things like that. And so they're just, they just wanted that to happen straight up, full stop.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one category. The extremists.
Yeah, one category. Okay. Now the second category is, I think, it's not quite the same, but it's like a lot of people are taught to like have disdain for white people, and I believe that they see Jewish people as white, and so they're like, okay, this is a stand against colonization or whatever else, and because the Palestinians would be of a darker shade as opposed to
so it becomes a little bit of a racial thing.
Yeah, because when people think of Jewish people, they think of like Ben Shapiro or something. They think of like whiter. So I think there's some people that are pro-Palestine because they just don't like white people, and I know that that might be a bit controversial to say, but.
No, I mean, it's probably true though.
I think some people it's like that, but then there's there's another group that's just like that didn't celebrate instantly, but that maybe like waited out a bit and kind of learned about the conflict that was happening and well, I that sounds so condescending. I don't mean to be like, oh, you're uneducated, but like that's not what I meant. I just mean like you kind of what I meant was like you kind of like wait and you kind of see like what's going on is what I meant to say. Like you don't really you kind of hold judgment or whatever, or maybe you knew about it previously and you're kind of like you already knew the history of what's going on, which I don't, but I know what's Well, I shouldn't say I don't know completely, but I don't know. I don't think I know enough to be proficient in the topic to like really talk about it like that. But it gets to a point. Like I think there was no question about it. I was pro-Israel after October 7th.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, strike him. We need to fight back. You need to fight back. Whatever. You need to defend yourself. But it gets to a point. I mean. What are they gonna do? Like, realistically? What is Hamas really gonna do? I mean, what we have to remember is that Israel has the most sophisticated weaponry because we give them the weapons. It's the most sophisticated and the most precise weapons. And that never really registered into my head, but like, they were able to target pagers. They were able to target like. The rooms, like literally the little rooms in their apartments, they were able to target leaders that way without destroying an entire building. So if they're able to do these things, why did they have to level, why did they have to level everything? You know what I mean? Why did they have to create rubble out of an entire area? And that's and with some things, and a lot of it is to do with rhetoric as well, because, I don't know if did I mention that on the show? I don't know if I did, but I used to watch Ben Shapiro a lot, and I remember watching him after October 7th, and I gave him some clemency at first because, a very big thing just happened to who you consider to be your people and, things like that. So I tried to give him some clemency, and I was like, well, it's, he'll get over it once he gets past his grieving process, maybe. Or grieving process, I meant to say, then maybe he'll. What is going on? Then maybe he'll, maybe he'll come through and it'll be more reasonable. But he was acting awfully. He was talking awfully violently. He was talking about how there was a virtue to hating the Palestinians. He wasn't talking about Hamas. He was talking about the Palestinians. He straight up said Palestinians. He was talking about how Hamas was using them as human shields, but he was also talking about how the children could not be saved, how they were taught to hate Jews at like 9 years old, and how it was actually good that they were killed. And I was sitting here watching this. I was like, and I put up with it for a while because I was like, well, he's hurting, but like a month goes by and it's like there's no change. Like he's speaking so like
just
dehumanizing. Very grotesque. I didn't like that at all. And And he also, he was sending fake photos out and stuff of like of babies that like died and things like that were proven to be AI generated. They actually ran it through a checker and it was AI generated. And he didn't even try to refute those claims. So I kind of lost a lot of respect for him as time passed. When it came to that. And then there's like other people. Are you familiar with Randy Fine?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so Randy Fine is a congressman. I believe he's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's from Kentucky. Nope, not Kentucky. That doesn't sound right. But he's a congressman, and you know he's reacting to it in such a like just really gross way. He's talking about you know, people are sending him like footage of like civilians getting bombed and civilians getting hurt and things like that, and he's just like, oh cool, thanks, thanks for the image, you know, stuff like that. And it's just, you know, it's just very, very dehumanizing, you know. Mm-hmm. And I just I couldn't get along with that. That was off to me. And
I mean, at that point, it just seems like, you know, advocating for violence in general.
Yeah.
But I mean, that, you know what though? I mean, after the 9/11 terrorist attacks on us,
yeah,
there are probably so many people. You know, most people here probably, you know, were bloodthirsty. You know, like,
no, yeah,
we wanted to, after 9/11, you know, Bush administration, everybody they wanted to absolutely destroy whoever was responsible for the 9/11 attack, except for the fact that they just destroyed the wrong people. So
yeah.
They destroyed Iraq, even though that's not what happened. At least I don't think so. And that kind of, you know, Israel's probably feeling after that how many Americans felt after 9/11. They just...
The only thing is, like, you know, we never said, like, you know, Muslim children should get killed.
That is true, yeah, we never
said. We never, like, you know, we might have been angry after 9/11, but I don't think anybody said, like, Muslim children should die or anything
nobody was saying vulgar stuff like that, or at least, you know, not normal, sane people.
Yeah.
They were probably saying that about...
Oh, okay. Time. All right. Sorry, guys. We have to cut it short. Well, not really cutting it short. We're cutting it late. So, before we leave, here's the disclaimer again. This program is produced by students at Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina. Views and opinions expressed on the station are those of student producers and do not necessarily reflect official views of the college. Thank you for listening. Just a reminder, you're listening to 97.1 FM, that's Presbyterian College student radio in Clinton, South Carolina, or you can tune in to us on our app, the WPCX app on iOS and Android. Thank you all for listening. Goodbye, everyone. You can say your goodbyes, too, if you'd like.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me on, Brennan.
Yeah, no problem. Oh. Yeah, no problem, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you.